record this. Okay. Okay, today is April 16th. This is the Team Onward Leaders Zoom meeting. So whether you are live here on the stream or whether you are watching this on YouTube with the replay, my hopes for you tonight is that you take something away. We're doing a couple of things different tonight than what we've been doing. We're going to talk about business and the state of it and what we're doing right now, what we need to do, and then we're going to talk a little bit about self-improvement. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and maybe it'll help you guys a little bit, especially some of you who are newer, that are watching this or who are being part of it. For me, because I've been doing this 14 years, I got to tell you, sometimes I got to find my inspiration from somewhere, somebody to give me something to say. I am not running around just chasing my tail in circles, because sometimes it feels that way. So the first thing I'm going to do, I found this quote and I just thought, oh my gosh, this is like really great for our team, because the number one thing besides consistency that makes this work is accountability. And this quote says, and this is by John H. Murphy, whoever he may be, but it's John H. Murphy. And he says, when everyone on the team is accountable, the team's effectiveness rises above the sum of its parts. Each team member does not just do what is asked, but they do what is needed. And I just thought that really resonated, boy, with me, because, you know, I can come to probably each one of you and go, hey, you know what, look, this is what I want you to do. Could you do this for me? And I think just about all of you would go, you know, well, sure, Molly, I'll do anything. I'll do that for you. You want me to call that person? Sure, I will do that. But there is a difference between doing what is asked and doing what is needed, and especially when you're a leader, which means a lot of times, more times than not, you go above and beyond the call. And I feel that as your teams get bigger, you really gonna feel that. When you got just a couple people on your team, you know, it's all right. You're like, okay, I'm learning this leadership thing, but when you got like 100 people on your team, 80 people on your team, 200 people on your team, you know, in our case, 800 people on our team, you can't just do what's asked. You got to do what is needed. So I like that. So this is, we are in the midst of our first campaign of flex ordering. Flex ordering. It's such a great thing, flex ordering. The problem is right now, we don't really know what people are doing on our team yet. That's what I'm figuring out. What I had been doing for the whole team is I sent out a message the other day. I waited till Friday. And I sent out a message to everybody who had not placed an order. Said, if you placed an order, please disregard this. But if you haven't, please realize we're on flex ordering. There isn't any, there aren't any penalties. You're just going to get shipping. You only have till Tuesday, 12 noon, to place your order. Please don't wait till 12 noon to do it. We did see an upswing after the weekend, which was good to see. This is what I know about our team. We are 8, 9, and 10 heavy, whether we like it or not. The problem is, most of our 9s and 10s are rebels when we had 9s and 10s. And they kind of just knew that they had X amount of days, that they could pick any of them days they wanted to place their order. The problem is Avon has cut most of those days out. So here we are at the end, and we could still have a lot of people. Yeah, Brenda, you're absolutely right. Most of your team is heavy 9. This is going to take not just what I ask. This is going to take, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this after I put it on YouTube, which, by the way, will not be listed. You'll the only ones who can see it, whoever I send it to. This is gonna take what is needed. Look, I love the fact that people can order when they want to, but we need them to pick when that's going to be. Some people are not going to understand why they need to pick that day. And I think we have to refer them to why Avon gave them a day initially. One, because it's good for the customer, which means it's good for you as a representative. Even people who are placing an order every week, it's no problem with that. Shoot, when my order's big enough, I do the same thing. But the thing is, when you're placing it every week, everybody know they're going to get their order within a week, technically. But when they haven't put an order in that campaign, they're absolutely, now we've got people who aren't ordering brochures. And even though now Avon's made it to where they can see both those necks, the next one and two ahead, we have got to really stress to people that, look, I don't care if they wait until the last Monday to put in their order. Hey, if that's what they, look, I didn't change my day. My order goes in tonight. That's what I was. I kept it. Yeah, I could have picked the week before. It didn't matter to me. My customers have been set forever. I can live with what doesn't come in. That's just me. But for other people, Lee and I have been trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. I'm not quite sure. First, we thought because they cut off 8 sooner, that we would end up being bloated for 9, that our sales would actually show larger for 9. This has not been the case. So now I'm wondering, were we just too sure of how this was going to go? With everybody saying, I don't want any lates and I don't want this and I want everything when it first comes in. I'm thinking everybody's going to put their order in like between, 2 and 4. So you know what I'm saying? They're going to be like old RPS 2 and 4s. It didn't happen. But what I wonder is this. Hi, Janae. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Sharon. Thanks for joining us. And guys, you're going to want to go back and listen to the first part of this. I'm not going to go back and say it again, but I will send this to you as an unlisted video so you can watch this, because I have Zoom one-on-ones after this, so I don't want to run over too late. But what I think is happening, rather than us being quote unquote bloated in 9, I think that Avon cutting off campaign 8 early has strategically kind of hurt us. Then people started 9, and we thought maybe the 9 would be bloated, but I think what's happening is we're not really going to see what people are going to do until probably campaigns 10 and 11 to see when are they going to even out, per se. In other words, what are they going to choose? Because this is the truth. Look, if you normally, at the time that you're starting to do something, your team is only going to get, if they have $200 in orders, but now they know without penalty that they could spend 4 or 5 more days gathering orders and build that order to $300, $400, $500. That is great, but what we need to do is we have to express to them that it's really important for them to pick a day for their customers. This is going to pay heyday on the Avon customer thinking, wait a minute, what's my rep doing or not doing? So I think some of this is going to even out in 10 and 11 for us, I'm hoping. But right now, we're not seeing it. We're not seeing the bloat we thought we would see in 9. And I just think that people have not finalized what they want. I think that as much as we've talked about it, as much as I've been emailing about Flex, as much as you've told people, pick your day, pick your day, pick your day, the point is they still picking and gathering orders. But tomorrow, the last picking day at 12 noon for 9. Now, worst case scenario is, whatever they do, if it's after that, it's going to roll in 10. This is where it hurts you, though. If you don't make your numbers, you don't perform at your title. So when I say don't just do what's asked, do what's needed, think about not only what you need from this, but think about the fact that to be a great business person, we need to stress to them that they need some regularity in their ordering process. So it doesn't matter what day they pick. We don't care what day they pick in that 2-week period. But we really do want to see them pick a day. Now, unless they're picking the last day, unless they're picking Monday, this is the really great thing here. That they can say, oh my gosh, this happened tonight. I know I wanted to place my order tonight, but it's okay because I can place it tomorrow and there are no penalties for doing that. The flexibility is there, but we want to make sure they're not saving that flexibility for the absolute end. You know, I mean, for those of us who do it like me, I mean, I can't think of one time ever in all these years that my order hasn't gone in. I mean, I've just always been that person who I knew my reps knew what I was supposed to be doing and I had to put my order in. So it was very important that I did that. You're not going to find people that are that serious about it, but we want to make sure, are we raising up, we're raising up people who want to run their business their way. But if you've gotten to the heart of what do they want from their business, that gives you the flexibility yourself as a leader to be able to say, I hear what your goal is. I hear what you're looking for here. This is the best way to get that goal. If you need that money for the insurance, if you need this money for your kids' football, my biggest suggestion to have great business skills and to be able to have something that you can depend on every campaign is you must have an order every campaign. I talked briefly on the new rep call about the new incentive that's coming up for Rep Fest, which doesn't mean a hill of beans to the people who aren't going to Rep Fest. Of course, I'm trying to get as many of our team on board. You know, between us, the wall, the fact that you all are the leaders, what I'm pushing for with Avon is they've got to start giving us Rep Fest dates at the end of Rep Fest. They've got to give us a year. They got to know where they're going. They got to give us a chance to let our teams prepare for it, because I'm finding my people, our teams are not preparing for this because 6 months is not enough time to say, hey, we want to go to Rep Fest. They need to know from the point of excitement at the end of Rep Fest, they want to give them some sort of special, some type of incentive to say, we need to plan right now to go. If you sign up today before you leave Rep Fest, this is what you're getting for being here. But now when you go home, you're going to offer this to your team. You're going to tell them what you've experienced, and this is where we're going. This is what I'm hoping for and what we're pushing for. I would love to tell you I have that kind of pull. I can tell you I'm not the only top leader out there who's pushing for this. Rep Fest is very, very new to Avon. They went without national conventions for years and years and years. And then for about 3 or 4 years, we had, let me tell you how long it's been. 14 years I've been in this company, 14 years. I was not in Avon. 14 years ago, there was no national convention. This was before me. And then when I became what is known now as a gold leader in Avon, they had leadership conferences. And that was great, but it was just for leadership. So there was really nothing for any of the newer people. So, and then when they decided on Rep Fest, which was really cool about that, the first time they did Rep Fest, it was at the end of a leadership conference. And they announced it in Orlando that this is what it was. And let me tell you something, they had a 90% sign up with everybody who was at the leadership conference. People signed up. And by the way, you were able to buy tickets to use as incentives for the team, that kind of thing, which is absolutely cool. So this is the deal. I know what we want them to do differently. We're just hoping they're going to do it. So we've got to work with what we got right now. Okay. So, and I feel like our biggest thing right now is trying to get our team, figure out what our teams are doing, our team members are doing. And you know, you're not interfering when you say, hey, with this new flex ordering, you know, just wondering, you can send out an email. What have you decided to do? Are you sticking with the day that you always had? Are you moving to another day? Because I got to tell you, I'm kind of wanting to know. I don't know what people are doing. I'm like, what? Because you don't know what flex means. You're not putting in an order. What's going on? I just truly believe that. I think some people too misunderstand what flex means. Flex means, oh, well, if you feel like your order's big enough, go ahead and put it in. We have to, you know, business should not be run any differently. We just need to help them pick their day. And you know, there are going to be some who aren't going to. And look, we have some now who order every second to third campaign. You know, it's what they do. And those people, look, they can do that. They can run their business that way. I don't think they're, you know, they're the people who are just, most of them love the discount. That's what they're going after, or it just gives them a little bit of money, and that's okay, because if that's all they want, that's okay. But there are some people, look, you know better than me, because I can look at the numbers as a whole for all our teams together and can tell you when we're down. But you know, when your people, that when you look down, you know whose name you're going to see every single campaign. You know who your rocks are on your team that provide you with what you need in order to meet your numbers to move you forward. So if those people in campaign 9 are not on your list, I would reach out. Make sure that they understand what this is. This isn't going willy-nilly and saying just place your order anytime. Avon still has the books every 2 weeks. We are still trying to get people to place order every 2 weeks. And you know what? It may be for naught. Maybe campaign 10 is going to come in, and maybe that's going to look like it's more calm. Maybe that's going to look better. And 8 was when it took place, so shell shock. 9 could be, this is where we have to settle them down. And 10 could be when people actually get back on the horse and decide what they're going to do, okay? Or decide what day it is. So this isn't about, I'm not asking you to run frantic like, oh, you're not putting in it. That's not what this is about. They don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need the stress of that. But we want to make sure that they very much understand what this flex thing is. I think that would be the most important thing for sure. Is there, but before I go into this next part of what I want to do, is there something that you guys are not, that you need to talk about, that you want to talk about? Look, we got some new leaders on here too, but you know, new leaders, you know, Trish, some of the other ones, Tina, you're not brand new, but you're definitely new to our leader family compared to most of the people that are on here. Is there anything that, you know, Adriana, you're another one that's newer. What is it that you need to talk about, that you want to talk about? Questions that you have, questions you haven't been able to maybe talk to your leader about, or things that you're struggling with because this is a new team. You've got new people, you're not quite sure what to do. We have a lot of knowledge in the house tonight. We have a lot of people who know, and this is open forum here. This is a time when you don't got to worry about your team, quote unquote, listening. I mean, you all my team. I talk about all of you guys, okay? So, I mean, it's just how it is. I talk about you all. Like, oh my God, let me tell you about Janae and the way she used to be and how she, or let me tell you about Brenda. Or, you know, the thing is, I got no problem with that. It's all good. But we're all family here. But there's nothing that you can ask that puts you in what some people would call the stupid wheelhouse. There's no such thing. Just like you learn how to share the products, we are learning how to be team leaders, and we're learning how to understand our team members and what do they need and how can we help them. And I can't help you. I mean, Trish, you have been really good. I got to put it out. You know, She reminds me a lot of Tina Shelton, because when she got a question, she out there, I want to know how you do this. What do I need to do with this? Brenda Lloyd and I were kind of talking today back and forth on text, and she's like, I know that you know about what this is going on with this person. You see how she's going here, and isn't this great? And I'm like, I'm feeling you. I've been talking to him too. I know we're making communications here. And it's good because that's what we do. But there is, this is time now. This is the time when we do this once a month. Questions about, you're running into this with a team member. What do I do with this? How do I handle this? Trish and I were talking today, like she was like, I want to put, like a packet together and everything. And she didn't know, she hadn't been part of the leader thing. I made a commitment to you guys 3 campaigns ago that every new person you bring on board is going to get a welcome packet from me by mail, a welcome email packet from me. They're going to get a shuffle welcome, and it's going to have the link to the groups in it. And this is me, and I'm part of your leader mentorship too. And that I was going to take that expense and that time spent, all that stuff, the paper, the ink, all of it, and send them what I feel like they need. And I even send her a sample thing of what I had sent somebody earlier on it. And everybody will get that. What I ask from you, because I don't do that for 48 to 72 hours, because if you sign somebody up who happens to be bad debt, who sold Avon before and they still owe them money, and Avon's not going to let them start until they pay off that old debt. Well, if we don't know they're going to pay it off, why am I going to waste $3.37 to mail it out, to send it out, to do the ink, to do all of this, if they have no intent on paying that $597 they may owe Avon? And some of them have no intent on paying the $27.37 they owe Avon. So what I need from you is, if you know, and you're the one who knows, because if you get somebody like that, they're going to tell you in that self-appoint email, they're going to say duplicate account, which means, somebody signed up, but they already had an account. And then we send that to National Collections and find out what it is that they owe Avon, if anything, or do they just need to remove the tags. If you ever get that message needs to be put in the notes section of Vibe. For me, I'm just going to be real honest. For me, because I'm sending out the welcome packets and it's my expense. And I don't mind doing it, but you guys have got to communicate with me, because there is nothing that agitates me more than spending this out and having it come back because of an apartment number, or let's say that I know it's sent out, and then I go look and they have not registered as an E-rep yet, and then I know there's a problem, because if they have not but then I look in the notes section and there ain't nothing there. There's a reason for the notes section, guys. So Mama Molly, don't go all crazy and stuff. That's why we have a note section, just so you know. And again, let me be clear. What do I need to call your team member for if you've already communicated with them? I got news for you. I hope you have the biggest worry in the world, that you got so many people that you can't remember who you talked to. And you're like, I need to use the notes section because I can't remember what I talked to that person about. That's the problems I want to see you have. But see, I have those problems. I can't remember. And we fought when we were part of the Avon Vibe pilot of making this up. And we said, we got to know what our team members are doing. You got to give us something where we can communicate with one another about what's going on. Because I surely don't want to take a person that Sharon's just fought on, and let's say that Sharon has just called her team member and said, hey, I see you haven't registered your account yet as an E-rep. And there's nothing in the notes section from customer care or anything like that. And, and just wanted to know, can I help you out? And this lady says, well, yeah, I didn't know that I owed Avon money, but I guess I do. And I don't know if I'm paying yet. So I'm not sure what I'm doing. And Sharon says, oh, okay. Well, you know what? If I can help you with this, you let me know. Now, Sharon got busy. Sharon didn't put that in the notes. So I say, it's been 6 days. This lady's still not registered. Wonder what's going on. So what do? I pick up the phone. Hey, Judy, how you doing? This is Molly with Avon. I noticed you haven't been registered yet. And she says, I told that girl Sharon that I couldn't do it because I wasn't paying the money. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, take the wheel. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to call you again. Did y'all get that situation? Then I'm sending her free product just because I feel so bad because I called her again. So the notes section is so really that as a tribe, we really do this well. That we're not, do you really want to call somebody I've already called? Do you really want to send out another welcome packet if I've done it? You don't want to double anything or any conversation. Avon used to do that when they had DSMs, and it was annoying. We would call as the leader, and the managers had already called and had done this or that, or maybe even given them wrong. Oh, what's that?
I'm giving you some tea.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you.
Talk, lady. She needs the drink.
Yeah, they used to do that, and people would say, I'm so tired of you all calling me. I'm like, I'm your leader. I'm kind of like, I'm supposed to be your mentor. And that's one of the reasons why Avon kind of took them out of the whole equation, was because they gave us the ability to be leaders. So I would say, please make sure you use your notes. If there's anything you think I need to know, thank you very much, or your upline need to know, because it would really help me not have to color my hair quite as often as I have to color it these days, for sure. So much appreciated there. So anybody else? I will tell you, I'm getting ready to put the recognition up. Y'all know we still got the $100 gift card, campaign 7 through 13. 3 successful recruits to qualify, and then for every recruit after the 3rd, you getting 2 entries in for the $100 gift card. Now, we got some people rocking and rolling. I just need you to know. And then I'm seeing all these pendings. These people aren't even supposed to. I'm like, oh my gosh, they really like me in business. I'm like, look at all these pennies. I wonder who's going to put in $150 orders here. So remember, it only takes one to win. It's like the lottery, okay? It only takes one to win. But imagine if you had a 4th person. And by the way, I'm sorry, 7, 8, we're in 9, 10, 11, 13. That's 6 campaigns. Huh? I didn't count 12. Okay, whatever. You know what I meant. I'm tired. Lee, be quiet. Put your headphones back on. Don't you hate it when your man call you out like that? Oh my team don't even call me out like that. You have all these campaigns left. Don't feel like because, well, I really don't have any. No. You cannot think that way as a leader. There is one more person, by the way. It's not just about trying to earn the card. This is about putting more money in your pocket. If your team performs, you're not only getting the recruiting bonus, but you're getting the 3% plus anything else according to your title. You have the ability to train these people and to mentor them towards their own goals. And that's huge, because the more they do, the more you're going to make. And you know what? And this is the residual part of this. So, I'm not here to tell you that you're going to make millions on this, because you're not in the beginning. I'm not making millions now, but I'm making some damn good money. It's just that simple. But it was 14 years ago when I started, almost 13 years ago into the leadership part. Knew that if I could sell and share this product, anybody could. Because I was a Christmas freak in the beginning with the Avon stuff. I wasn't a big product freak, but now I'm a product freak. So I need to use a different word. I need to quit with that freak thing. Anyways, I really love the products now, and I use a whole lot of them. We talked on the new rep call for any of you who weren't there, trying to use some of these new things they are giving us. And I feel like I was very remiss in the first two times I did this training, not talking about these things like Avon Social and this new campaign insider and the information they're giving us and the ability to learn a product at a time. Learning a product at a time is an amazing way to become an established sharer who does it like nobody else's business. And what I didn't share, and I probably should have, is I'm really using this stuff now. And it's amazing to me how much I didn't really know about some of our products. And now I'm starting to try to concentrate on whatever three things that Avon picks in that campaign. I'm really using that myself to say, how can I turn my customers on to the products that Avon is giving me all this info on? I can't share that with all your team. I can't promise you they're all going to watch these YouTubes that we're turning into. But as you're talking to your people one-on-one, these little things that I'm talking about for these people who don't really, get on the YouTubes or they're not doing this part of it, make sure that these little things, like whether it's Avon U, and look, I told y'all, I don't love everything about Avon U. I truly do not. But there are some things that have a lot of good information in there. But this campaign insider, even if they go back and catch the replays, the Avon Social, how to show them how to truly be social in today's world to get people to pay attention to their posts. I got to tell you, Janae and Brenda Lloyd are they're probably one of the best at this. Only because I watch them. I watch them not only with what they do for business, but I watch them. Brenda's always throwing her granddaughter into the mix, and Janae has got Zoe in the mix, and they're always using it to bring them into their business. But at the same time, Janae will have an issue with her husband, Jesse, and she be talking about that, and then I'm laughing at it. But then she'll say, how many people feel this way about this? You know what I need? I need the calm. Do you ever feel this way about your husband? And now I need to take the calm. And I'm thinking, girl, I am feeling you, and I'm going to go take two right now. Let me tell you. I mean, when I'm watching this, Brenda uses these different programs. God, I watch her on Instagram, and she uses these different things where almost like little videos where she puts these things together, and it catches my attention. I'm an Avon rep, and I see this stuff in the books all the time, but it catches my, Ripple, that's what it is, catches my attention. And what I would like to tell you all to do is don't forget, for the people who seem to have a stronger presence in some of these areas, follow what they're doing. Because I would love to tell you I just know how to do all this stuff and I'm pretty awesome at it naturally, but I'm not. I follow the people who are doing this, and I'm like, and then I ask. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know how they're doing it. I know how to get stressed, Janae. I just saw that. Go take a calm pill. I'm just saying. I saw you doing that. Girl, what can I tell you, we're all here to learn from one another. You can sit there. This is a stressful time for us right now because nobody likes change. Even if the change is supposed to be good for us, nobody likes change. But I know we're going to grow through this. I truly do. And I know that in the end, when our reps find their footing again in this, I do believe that it's all going to be fine. I just think that we miscalculated. I know I did. And I think Lee feels he kind of did too. We kind of miscalculated. We just kind of thought it was going to be this bump in the road and people were just going to grab what they were going to do. And I just don't think that's what it is. I think they're still trying to find their footing. And I can tell you that individually, looking at the team numbers, it's across the board. It's not just with one or two of you. So you're not in that boat alone. So we're all kind of in that boat. Even me as a total, our numbers should be better. But when I can see the same thing all across the board, obviously a lot of our reps are thinking the same. So don't get down on that. Just realize this could be the bump and we need to recover and be stronger for it. But I would recommend reaching out to your team members to make sure they're very sure about the flex, especially your people you can depend on like night and day. You know the sun's going to shine with them because their orders normally there. If their orders are not there, make sure you reach out to them, because your titles and what you get paid are going to depend on it for sure. Um, okay, the other thing, Lee, did you have anything, I mean, just across the board that you wanted to add? I know we're going, but I know you're listening, but I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to add.
No, I was hoping the girls would start kind of chirping up. I hear you talk all day. I was hoping.
Yeah, I know. So are there any questions across the board? Anything you guys need some help on before we go into this last part of what we're going to do? I know Janae seems okay. Sharon seems pretty solid with what she's doing. Becky, I know you just pulling your hair out, girl, so it's all good. But you're good. You're fine. Tina, everything okay on your end, baby, with what you're doing? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Amy, I got you covered. You and I are going to have a discussion here this week, and we're going to talk about where you want to go. Try to get you back on your own path that you want. Brenda, I'll be talking to you after this call, so I know we'll be okay. Trish, new to the fold, baby, but you know what? You're coming out like a rock star, which is good. So stay in contact with your people, and just be a mentor. Be there when they need them. You're learning things for the first time, which is good. Um, you're here with a group amongst the best, I think, which is perfect. Uh, I love that you're not afraid to ask questions. That is such a good quality. You're not just going, well, I'm just going to wing it. I'm just kind of like, you want to know what can be done, what can help them. And when you're that person and you have that kind of a caring spirit and soul, that's going to take you a long way in this business. Only one word of advice I tell you, and you hear me say it all the time: don't take it personally if they don't perform. When you know you're doing what you should be doing and they still ain't getting it, that's all right, baby. That's why we keep bringing them in. We keep sharing the opportunity and bringing them in. Sooner or later, you're going to find those who want to do. It was my biggest piece of advice to Tina Shelton, and it's my biggest piece of advice to anybody coming into this business on the new line. So just keep doing what you're doing. You're sharing what you're doing. You're excited about what you're doing. And I can't wait to see where you're at the end of the year. I think it's going to be a good place for you. Okay. How am I feeding me right now? I told you guys earlier in the year, it's been a big examination of my soul, my business, my life. I can try to change my business all I want to, but I got to make sure that my personal life is on the same type of path also. And that can be a rude awakening. So I've been getting back to reading some things. Avon has bought some of the best motivational, inspirational, knowledgeable people into my life as speakers. And one of the best they ever bought in for me that I absolutely loved, if you don't already follow him, is Darren Hardy. He is a take no prisoners, tell you how it is about life, about business. Wonder why I relate to him, huh? Do you wonder? Yeah, I wonder too. So I started back. I've read a lot of his books and stuff over and over again, and I started back on the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, which is a program that he had with a great book. And I was reading something this morning that he said, and I thought, you know what, bear with me. This won't take long, but so much of what he says relates to us in our business and our life. And he said in this, by the way, his hashtag is always in this book, hashtag join the ride. So I want you to think about a roller coaster, and you know what it does. Because to be real honest, when I was younger, I loved roller coasters. I got on all the time. But something happened. I had babies and all that stuff, and something changed me. I'm like, oh my God, I'll throw up if I get on the roller coaster. But when you think about join the ride and you think about a roller coaster, that's what this business truly is. He says, if you're going to get better, you have to push yourself. If you push yourself, you're going to fall. If you're not falling, you're not pushing. Falling is part of getting better. And I thought, gosh, I've skinned my knees so many times. I have fallen down so many times in life and in business. It was huge. He said, falling is good for you. He said, learning to accept rejection and to face getting knocked down isn't just about growing a tough skin. Getting knocked down also makes you stronger and better, and it's good for you. One of my earliest introductions to this lesson was the ski slopes. My dad taught me to snow ski when I was 6 years old. By the time I was 8, I was skiing on my own. Once at the end of a full ski day, I ran up to my dad with a huge smile and proudly announced, Dad, I skied by myself all day long and I didn't fall down once. He looked at me flatly and said, well, then you didn't get any better. What? That wasn't the response I was expecting and hoping for. Seeing the bewildered look on my face, my dad elaborated, look, son, if you're going to get better, you have to push yourself. If you push yourself, you're going to fall. If you're not falling, you're not pushing. Falling is part of getting better. He said, my dad was so tough on me, but I owe much of my success to my dad and this philosophy. He taught me that it was not only okay to fail, but that it was an important part of the process. It was proof you were stretching and growing past your previous limits. It was confirmation you were improving. As a result, I never saw setbacks, obstacles, rejection, or even pain as things to avoid. Rather, they were improvement markers on the journey towards greatness. They were events to be appreciated and even celebrated. That's the hardest thing in the freaking world, is to celebrate the times that you fall down. The times that that person says they're going to knock it out of the park and they put in a $26 order. The time that they swear to you they're going to pay their bill, and 3 campaigns later, it's still acquiring late fees. The time that, you know what, you just know that they're going to do more. They say they're going to order 50 books and they don't even put in an order, far less that. The times when you say you're going to get out, you're going to do something in your business to bring yourself in line, and you meant to make a step towards that. And here you sit at another monthly meeting, and you may still be sitting in the same place you were a month ago. You got to recognize it. You got to recognize it for not just what you did do, in this case, maybe what you didn't do. It's not complete failure unless you quit. But what are you going to do to take a step forward? Are you going to beat yourself up? Are you going to say, you know what, I didn't do what I said I'm going to do? It's time for me to get out there and do it. This time, I am going to take a step towards what I want. And if you said to yourself, I want to bring on 3 more people on my team, and when I bring on 3 more people, the next campaign, I don't just want to bring on 2 more people, but I want 2 of the 3 that I bought on, I want them to place orders and pay for them, we hope. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing to ensure our success? Because if you're sitting back waiting for me to ensure it, it's not going to happen. It's not. I would love to, but that just doesn't work when I'm doing all the work for you. So I hope I'm going to try to pick something like that at the end of every meeting to kind of leave you with, to let you know. It doesn't do you any good to sit there and beat yourself up for something you haven't done. If life has sucked you in again and you have not been able to do what you wanted to accomplish, I'm sorry, you're still breathing, okay? The goals are still in front of you. Go forth this time and do better than you did last time because the goal is still there. It hasn't changed. We don't need to change the goal. Sometimes we need to change how we go about achieving the goal. You might want to change the plan, but the goal should be the same. So, whatever that goal is it the next title? Is it the next leadership title for you? Is it maybe that you feel like you're not really in touch with somebody on your team that you wish you were? As a leader, reach out and touch those people. Write it down, but don't just look at it. Call them. And even if you don't talk to them directly, leave them a note, leave them a text. If they don't have a machine, you know what? Drop them a little note. What's it going to take you? 5 minutes to say, hey, you know what? It's Becky. Saw that you hadn't placed an order in the last couple of campaigns. Sure hope everything's okay. You know, get back with me if I can help you with anything. Just thinking about you. I got blank postcards that have pictures of flowers on them that say nothing about Avon, that I can just do that with, and it only costs me a postcard stamp. Sometimes we have to do something a little different because sometimes this group stuff just doesn't work for everybody. So let's try to go forth and do more. Let's do not just what is asked, let's do what's needed. And don't look at your failures as things that are bad. You know, go forth and learn from your failures and learn from what's not going right. And know that if you don't have failures, you're never going to be better than you are right here in this moment. And if you don't know what a hallelujah moment that is, Lord, you haven't failed enough. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Because for me, I have more failures to celebrate than great things. So I'm going to start celebrating every single one of them from now on. When y'all hear me say hallelujah failure, you're going to know, oh, Molly's up at it again, you know, at it again. If you have leaders under you, anybody who has one person or more, once this uploads, the other one is still loading, so that probably won't even be put on YouTube till tomorrow. This one too. I will upload this. This one you will not be able to find in my YouTube channel. You will have to take this off the review sheet under the leader call, because if you don't have the link, you won't be able to run it, because I don't make these public, not the leader one. So you'll have to click that. But it will go, and they go to everybody, even people who are just interested in leadership. It doesn't matter. We don't judge on that. If they want to watch the leader call, go ahead. It's all good. So anything you need in the meantime. Hey, leaders, one thing, if I'm sending you leads, I'm going to say this again. If I'm sending you leads and you receive the lead, I need you to text me to tell me you got the lead. Okay? Just so I know you got it, because I got leaders who never got the leads. And that's worrisome with Avon, because I'm like, what you mean? Where'd they go? I can only send them to my leader. Where are they? And I don't know. They're still sitting in my thing. So if you do, you don't got to tell me what's going on with the leads, because when I send them to you, they're yours. Becky, in your case, I'm sending them to Linda, and I'm sure she's downloading them to you and whoever. Hey, Janae.
Hey, the other day, one of the leads that you sent me, I had gotten it, and like 2 hours after, when I was going to email them back, it had already been revoked.
Oh.
I didn't find out about it until the next day.
Because it was a share lead. So how long did it sit there?
2 hours. I literally got an alert, and I finished billing at work, and then I took my lunch 2 hours later, and I went to go and text the person and then call them, and it was already revoked.
I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Those share leads, look, I don't want them revoked. I'm not going to lie. I get those free for personal leads. You all know that. You get them too if you're on there. But this is what I'm going to tell you. When I'm delegating a lead, it could be a personal lead. Most of the time, they're premier, because most of the time, most of my leads are Almas. Okay, they're normally premiers. Lately, they haven't been. I've been very lucky getting people off my YouTubes, this and that. But when I send you a lead, check it right away. And the first thing you want to see, is it shared or is it a premier? If it's a premiere and you're in the middle of doing something, just do it. I'm not telling you you got to call that shared lead right then. What you do have to do is go into that shared lead and put that you did something and mark it to recommunicate with that person in 24 hours or 7 days. If it's a shared lead, just put that you did something, whether you did or not, because they cannot revoke them if you have put some sort of action on them. And I normally take it to the furthest thing, like 7 days. I know I'm going to be doing it sooner, but that's what I do. Because Janae, what I was thinking was, if you had a lead revoked, that lead, since we don't have DSMs, should be revoked back to me. Janae, it's not. No, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they went back into the Avon world. I don't know, but they're not revoking it back to me because I would have gotten it. So they're treating that, they're probably taking it and just giving it to another leader. Now, I didn't pay for it. So I mean, and who knows what it would have been. But right now, because I don't know, I'm sending you both. I'm not saying, well, she's getting shared and she's getting premiere. I'm going down the list and going boom, 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 boom. Whoever gets it next, that's what I'm doing.
Well,
Okay.
I know I told you that I was trying to do a better job of making sure to check Alma leads every day, and I'm just going to send this out as a PSA to all leaders. Mm-hmm. Be sure to check Alma every day, because sometimes your leads will get appointed with other people, and you don't know about it until the contract is completed, and you go back and check your list and see that their name is there.
Always check it. That's exactly.
Check every day.
That's a very good point, Janae. Very good. Also, let me say this. For some of you like Tina, who you don't know, I delegate leads to people on my team who are investing and buying leads themselves. Okay, so that you know. That doesn't mean that you're always going to get them from me, because Lord knows if Avon ain't giving them me, or they ain't got no leads, and I ain't getting them either, and ain't nobody. If they self-appoint with me, they self-appoint with me first, and that's all cool, and of course I don't send them. But when I get them, a lot of times they want to talk to people. Something didn't go through. Any lead for me that does not self-appoint automatically on its own, I don't call it, I delegate those leads to people on my team. But let me be clear, I pay $10 a lead for all of those leads. So I delegate leads to people who invest in their business, which means, one, you have to get to a title that you can buy leads. And when you do, you have to figure out, are you going to invest in your business? And I got to tell you, if you don't invest in your business in one way or another when it comes to building your business as far as the team building, you're going to be a long time reaching the titles that you want, okay? But this is a stepping stone. This is why Avon says you're going to touch everybody you come in contact with, and you're going to keep, and then what happens is when you have enough signups there, you're going to be eligible for lead buy, and you're going to want to do that, and you're going to be, and by that time we hope that your sales are high enough that money can help to be used to reinvest. So there's a lot of different things you can do, but I know you're going to hear me say things like this. You're like, what are you talking about? Molly don't see me nosy. What's she talking about? That is why. It's not about giving it to my best and top leaders. It is about me looking to see, one, who's performing, and who is consistently working their own business and bringing people in, and that shows me a whole lot too. But how else are you investing in business? And Avon gives us this way, this Alma Leads, where we can invest in our business. And if it's another way besides doing welcome packets and training and all this stuff to help you guys out. It's another way that here I am, steps ahead of you guys. And if I can help you build your teams, that only helps me as a whole. It helps us all as a whole. It helps you get to where you want to get. So that is why I do that. I could take all those leads and just work them myself and, put them all in my first gen. I just don't believe in that. Other leaders, it is what it is, but it's not what I do. I want to help you guys where I can, but I like to help those who are helping themselves, if that makes sense. Okay. So if you have anything else, you can give it to me now. If not, I'm not going to keep you for the extra half an hour. I don't got nothing else to say. I really don't. I done said enough tonight, I believe. Janae, you got anything? Nope, you good?
For
Okay.
once, I'm quiet.
What?
For once, I'm quiet.
I wouldn't say that. It's just me. I wouldn't say that, but okay. Shut up, Janae.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Go give my babies a kiss from me. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. So take care if you need me in the meantime. Oh my gosh, look at Zoe. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Girl, you are growing up already. Get out of here. Okay. So,
I just wanted to note that this chair right here came from the rewards headquarters. Thank you, Avon.
hey, is that the replacement?
No, it's the
Okay.
chair. It is the same one. So apparently it took two brains to assemble it. So
Really? Okay. That's all I'm going to say.
we're not going to talk about that. It's not
Okay,
important.
we're not going to talk about that. Okay.
No.
Okay, so leads being given, make sure you're shooting me a text message that you got it. If it first thing you look at, leaders, shared or delegated. If it's shared, I don't care that you can't get to them right at that moment. You ain't killing nobody by not doing it. Mark that you have so it cannot be revoked. If it's a premier lead, it can't ever be revoked. Don't worry about it. Just, get on it. Close what you can. I got to say, above all, do you know how refreshing it was for me this morning? And we don't even have them all in there right now. There's some like Trisha's isn't even in there yet. It was so refreshing for me to look and see that in the last 4 days that we had 14 new appointments that I have not done welcome packets for. I took the weekend off to spend with Eric and Lisa, and I am like, look at them roll. That is awesome. So it's very exciting that you're going to work my tail off for the next 2 days now. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Okay. So love you guys bunches. And if you need me, reach out. If not, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing a fabulous job. Very, very excited for you and very proud of you guys. Okay. Recognition will be out soon. Okay. Thanks a bunch. See you later.
Thank you. Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.